So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but um, we all sort of know people who can eat anything they want and not gain weight, and then people who eat very little and gain weight seemingly out of nowhere. And it all stems from your individual biology, and that is genetics and epigenetics, and then the in utero environment. So the calories in, calories out myth has sort of been debunked for years now. And yes, there is that rule of thermodynamics that does apply, but the uniqueness or the issues are that your body changes its metabolic rate in response to different factors. So the calories in, while they may be sort of the same, the calories burnt or calories out change over time. And so it's not as simple as just dieting or exercising. It's just not that that doesn't work. And so complex interplay of, as we talked about, genetics, epigenetics, the in utero environment, and then the environment that you're exposed to once you're born. And those are the microplastics, the forever chemicals, the ultra processed foods, all of those issues combined together. And it's thought that up to 40 to 70% of obesity is actually inherited in one form or another. So again, keep that in mind when you're talking to patients or treating patients, because a lot of these patients, especially as children, if they have obesity, they were dealt a difficult hand of genes and epigenetically modified genes, and are just doing the best they can. So again, leave your judgment at the door. People might know that the hypothalamus is the part of the brain that mediates both hunger and satiety. And they might not know that if you have a tumor in that region, like a craniopharyngioma, that gets removed, you get obesity. And again, that has nothing to do with the patient's willpower. That is just a central drive to eat. And that is what's termed hypothalamic obesity, which is how the sort of monogenic causes of obesity, how they develop. Just really almost like, if people know what Prader-Willi patients seem to present, which is this insatiable hunger and desire to eat, that many of these hypothalamic obesity patients have the same sort of expression of their disease. But monogenic obesity and hypothalamic obesity is actually the rarer type. The more common type is what we call polygenic obesity, which is multiple different genes that may have variants or mutations, and it may be that they interact with each other through either the hunger or satiety pathways. But those genes are not, they're not all well characterized as of yet. And then there are patients or people who get genetic testing don't seem to have any genetic issues, but they probably have epigenetic modifications that we just can't detect yet because the technology is not there. Yes, in the adult world, there are probably some people who have true food addiction, and it is certainly possible that, again, that ultra-processed foods or the chemicals that we are exposed to every day change our hypothalamic set point as we live. But no matter how you sort of look at it, it still comes down to individual biology and not willpower. So we talked about already that childhood onset obesity is not baby fat. And again, you can look at my most recent publication to get more information on that particular topic. What it really means is that you just have a higher biologic vulnerability, and thus you, unfortunately, are going to require more aggressive care.